We lost this honey locust to a windstorm this winter, and I asked the tree guys to cut the stump a couple feet up because I had an idea for a project. That is a planter that I'm hoping to carve out of the center of the stump and then cut a groove down the middle of that planter and put this steel structure straight up and then put a climbing clematis or something like that on it. I have no idea what this is. I found this on a hike. If anyone knows what it is, please let me know in the comments. We're going to try to figure out how to cut a little divot in the middle of this, turn it into a planter using a circular saw, kind of adapting something I saw of people using a circular saw to make a bowl without a lathe. I'm gonna definitely do a more rustic version of that, I guess, to go along with my skill set. So let's get going. You can see it's not a perfectly flat cut. The guys said that they ran into some metal here, which probably means I'm gonna run into some metal, but we'll see if that happens. So I'm gonna estimate the center of this tree, not just use the original center. I'm gonna think of this as a circle and kind of use a technique to find the center of a circle, which is just draw a couple chords on this stump. And then we are going to find the midpoint of those chords. And draw a perpendicular. There's our center. So just a little bit to the right of that guy. A little pivot point there. Then let's figure out how big we want this thing to be. Let's take out that screw so we can draw some lines. It's kind of guidelines for the circular saw, rough guidelines. Making a pizza. So I'm hoping this is going to be like a big pasta dish with a complete round where the circular saw ends at the ends of the circle, and then flat where it's just running across. We'll see how it works. I'm going to start by just plunging somewhere in the middle and moving out, and just do that in these pizza slices to start with all the way around, and then just keep slicing until the little sections are small enough that they'll either break out or chisel out. A little bit of an awkward reach here, and try to be pretty careful. lose some of my marks when when this flake comes off. Hopefully that won't mess this up too much. Trying to do all of this corner while I still have some platform to work with. Yeah, it's taking way too long.
What are you doing?
I'm just making a planter inside of this thing. Carving it out. I'm just going to measure the size of the base, figure out how wide and long a slot I need. 5/8. 5.5. I was going to use the circular saw to cut that slot, bunch of slots, but it's so short that the slot's going to be so long. I'm going to try this 5/8 Forstner bit and just see how it goes. Really bad. See if I have a spade bit. Got a new plan for the planter. There are two issues I'm dealing with. First, the cutout really isn't deep enough to hold the trumpet vine that I want to put in there. And second, we got a lot of rain and that bowl really just held the water, and I'm worried that it's going to rot the plants, rot the roots. So first thing I'm going to do is where this gouge is, I'm going to continue the gouge, probably with a chainsaw, to create a drainage channel. See how that works, and then I'm going to build a little rim out of hypertufa and see if we can create a little deep planter. So that's what this edging is essentially a mold, an inside mold for the planter. Feel free to make fun of this chainsaw because it's pretty ridiculous, but it's quiet and portable. See how well this works, or where else we might need to add a drainage ditch. Have our hypertufa mix. I'm going to start putting it all around this, the edge of the form. See how that goes. So we just need to cover this hypertufa in some plastic wrap so it doesn't dry out too fast. It's been a couple days and I'm going to take the plastic off, see how it looks. It's been about 4 days. Let's take the inner form off. Was it worth it? Well, I'm happy with the finished product, which is the most important thing. Sometimes the juice isn't worth the squeeze, but in this case, I think it was. I definitely wouldn't recommend or even repeat the circular saw work in the future. It was dangerous and it basically made a tiny divot in the tree. And I had to recover with that hypertufa rim. But that was probably my favorite part of the whole project, was working with the hypertufa. The most important thing for me was being able to repurpose the stump and the steel piece for the climber. So I hope you learned something, or at least were entertained by mistakes I made with that saw. And I really recommend, if you want to see someone who knows how to use a saw, check out Rion Round's video of the removal of this tree using a gigantic crane. It is super entertaining, and his channel is awesome.